Hello, everyone. Welcome back. As I mentioned last week, this week we're going to go over, in my opinion, some of the best ways to upgrade the Musketeer Premium deck set. So, just a couple of ground rules before we start. I am not going to be talking about getting more Katrinas because that is a bit of a big ask for someone who just buys this product and wants to maybe do a couple of tuning upgrades to this. And that's mainly what this is going to be, a budget upgrade guide. So we're not going to be breaking the bank, we're not going to talk getting 2 more Katrinas. But if you find yourself able to, I recommend very heavily getting yourself more Katrinas because that is the deck's main win condition, and that is just Neonectar's main win condition as a whole. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, shall we? So we're going to start off with the G-Zone, really. And really, the only upgrades I'm making in the G-Zone is just tuning up, our G-Guard ratios. So the first card I'm going to recommend you cut is, of course, the Grey Elemental G-Guard that comes in the deck, Colburn. It's a okay card. It, gets bigger for each card for every 2 cards, my apologies, in your opponent's hand. But you also have to discard a card from your hand, so you're also going -2 to get the G-Guard onto the Guardian Circle to begin with, because you need to get rid of a heal from hand. It's just all around a pretty weak G-Guard. Along with that, I recommend cutting a Kostrina and the Antero that comes in the deck as well. While these cards are decently good G-Guards, Antero just being able to produce really, really, really big shield numbers by himself, just for the cost of a soul, we have other options that I just think we should be running in the deck. Same goes for Kostrina. Kostrina is a cool way of getting another unit onto the field and just getting bigger shield values out of it as well. You're kind of getting more bodies onto field for the cost of a counterblast, but then also getting the big shield as well. And yeah, it gets kind of okay numbers and can combo well with the Rain Breath that comes in the deck, or with the Antero in here as well. There's a couple of more important cards I think we should be adding. Case in point being 2 more copies of Robertina. This is a countercharger in the G-Zone, and I think you should be running at least 3, maybe 4. 3 is just kind of the sweet spot that I've found. And for the last card, add in a second Rain Breath, because Rain Breath is just another really, really, really good G-Guard. If you don't know what Rain Breath does, well, let's go ahead and read. When this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, choose up to 1 card from your hand, call it Vanguard Circle until the end of the turn. That unit gets on rear and Guardian Circle. Resist. If you called a card, this unit gets power plus, my apologies, shield plus 5,000 until the end of that battle. Yeah. Honestly, Robertina is just so important. If you can get your hands on 2 more of these, they're really cheap on TCG Player. Just grab them. Grab a playset, because who knows, maybe there'll come a time when we run 1 Rain Breath for Robertina, but I think just the 3 and 2 ratio is fine. That comes in to upgrade the deck with. Now, going into our triggers, I recommend cutting 3 of the Maiden of Blossom Rain and the 3 copies of Happy Lucky from the deck, keeping 1 copy of Happy Lucky in the deck. Now, Happy Lucky is a good supporting rear guard, being able to buff, your Vanguard at GB1, which is on first stride, basically. And the Blossom Rain being the, PG in the draw is fine. These cards are playable. They are most certainly playable, and if you don't want to cut them, you don't have to. But honestly, it wouldn't really be a premium deck if you didn't run the draw crit triggers. Now, if you don't know what these cards do, they basically have the Vanguard 0 effect, where that's not even an auto ability. When this card is revealed for a damage check, you draw a card. That's how some of these triggers worked in Vanguard 0. They were able to be checked defensively, being able to draw a card, and just also being able to use as well the offensive triggers. Triggers are good. If you check crits, you are just inherently good at the game. Trust me on that. It also has the auto on rearguard ability. When you're grade 3 or greater Vanguard with an Ranunculus in its card name, attacks, blah blah blah, put soul, draw a card, choose one. We are not running a Ranunculus in this deck, the same Musketeer deck. Changing the main Vanguard just inherently changes how the deck works. So we're in keeping this upgrade guide in mind of if you want to play Musketeers. And even if you are playing Musketeers, being able to check these offensive cards defensively to cycle and refill your hand is still really good. And then of course, we still kind of want draws in the deck, so I'm running 2 copies of Lena in the upgrade, just so that way we still have an extra 10k shield. And there's another reason as well as to why we're cutting these cards in particular, and that is because I would like to add 3 of these guys. 3 of the grade 1 PGs, Liga. So if you don't know what Liga does, you can choose a card from your hand and discard it, blah, 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 you know, the normal Guardian stuff. It also has Bloom. Rear Guard, GB1, Counterblast 1. Now, if you don't know what Bloom does, it basically triggers when another unit of the same name is called onto the field. So the Bloom effect is, when you bloom, you can pay the cost, and if you do, choose up to 5 of your Cherry Blossom, Blizzard Maiden, Ligas, and Rear Guard Circle, add them to your hand. So basically, call, bloom, so then you're able to pay the cost, bounce it back to hand. So basically, you're able to just call your PGs defensively or offensively, and then be able to just grab them back to hand. And it's pretty good. These are really, really, really good PGs, especially paired with Ladislava in the deck. You're able to go into Ladislava, get call grade 1, get 2, bounce them back to hand, and you have your defensive cards sealed for next turn. Now, however, as we can see, this is 9, this is 6. So what are 3 other cards that we're going to cut for these girls? Well, I am cutting the 3 copies of Gaston in the deck because it's just a kind of bad card. I personally don't like it. It's kind of eh. You don't know what Gaston does. It's a grade 1 with 10,000 shield, 8,000 power. Continuous on rearguard circle. During your turn, this unit is placed from deck. This unit gets power plus 10k. Yes, it does combo with the normal Musketeer synergies, but I mean, so does Liga. If you call Liga off one of your Musketeers and then you call another Liga off the other Musketeer, you just bounce them back to hand, and it has the same inherent synergy. Yes, you're lowering on Musketeer names, but who cares? All the grade 2 Musketeers that call, they don't really need Musketeer name. They just call inherently. Yeah, Tor is, you can call 2 or 1, but really you kind of just need the 1 anyhow, because you're still like getting 2 bodies for the cost of 1 skill. Finally, in the grade 1s, I am cutting 4 copies of Mirka. Now, yeah, Mirka is a good card. It's, once again, another Musketeer name. It gets you plant tokens, fills your board. It's fine. But if we're talking about plant tokens in the grade 1 slot, especially in a deck that has Katrina in it, Maiden of Flower Carpet. She just is so good. She's so strong. If you don't know what she does, when she's placed on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, you may call a plant token to Rearguard Circle. So she's really good as a Vanguard or a Rearguard. Same goes for Mirka, but like her skill just is for free, while Mirka you need the Soul Blast. Following that up, she's also going to be used defensively, where you can guard with her, and then she has an effect in the yard, where you can retire 2 plant tokens, call her, not call, but add her back to hand. You can only activate 1 of these, but it's still like good if you have 1 in hand. It's an extra 10k shield that you can just recur consistently, and it's very, very, very good. Now, finishing us off, we have the grade 3s. Cut the 2 Martinas. They are just kind of useless. You can't ride them really well. Her Vanguard skill is just kind of bad. Yeah, she's a really good early game attacker if you can find her off your top cards. So, in my opinion, cut the 2 Martinas for 1 Vera, which is just your best backup Vanguard if you can't find your Cecilias, and 1 extra copy of Cecilia Reverse, bringing the ratios from 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 of these. She just is probably the best rearguard attacker for Musketeers, being able to unlock like the 4th and the 5th and maybe even the 6th attacks just really, really easily just off her own skill. If you go into like Ladislava, or if you go into, well, other scrides as well. She's just really, really, really good. But yeah, that will finish it up for the upgrade guide. I do hope this was helpful for you all. I'm still trying to get back into the swing of making videos for the channel, as I just did not for 2 weeks. So, yeah. Thank you very much. I will have all the YouTube things maybe flashing on the screen right now, but if you don't know what they are, like, subscribe, do all the fun stuff, comment if this was helpful. I'll shut up now.